about the journey you've had with this character.
Yes.
Because it was, at first, it was like a very colorful character that comes in, steals the episode, and then she's gone. And now she's she's the star of the show.
Yes.
So how did it change your perception of the character, that journey from being a day player and now being the star of the show?
Right. No, the character remains who she is. There's just more of her. So I tried not to think in terms of, oh, now I'm the lead, because then I would get nervous that somehow I would be too much, or it would be too much, or I would just get in my head, So I trusted the writers. I trusted Robert and Michelle King and our showrunner, Jonathan Tollins. I trusted them that if I was doing too much or too little, that they would let me know. Otherwise, I'm there to serve the scene, to serve the script, moment to moment, because that's my job. If I get too caught up in, oh, I've got to make this something incredible, or I'm a failure, any of that is going to get in the way of me doing what I hope to be good work. So I just try to put all that out of my head, relax into it, and trust. And so that seems to have paid off, because people seem to be responding to it. We have incredible writers, and that is, we have a saying, if it ain't on the page, it ain't on the stage. So, you got to start with what you've been given.
So you didn't think about that pressure of being, now you're a leading lady.
I did think of the pressure, but it was actually more excitement. I've been doing this a very long time, and so I felt very humbled by this opportunity. It does not come along to very many people, and so I wanted to make sure that I enjoyed every moment of that, because, well, nothing lasts in anything in life, but especially in this business. It's always short, there's nothing lasts. That's just the nature of what it is. So I made it more of my goal to approach this with gratitude and with joy and delight, and wanting to actually spread that to the people that I work with and to the audience. And that has been something that has really inspired me every day. Even when we're working long hours, we're all even when there was pressure of, oh, are the ratings going to be good? Are people going to watch this? Just be grateful. Just be happy. And that seems to be paying off.
Now that you're talking about, bringing joy to the set and to the work, I think it really translates, because I can tell that you're having fun.
I'm having the time of my life, even when I'm not. Even when, there's challenges. We're outside New York, we're freezing, or there's snow, or there's rain, blah, blah, blah. We're working 16 hours. I'm still, grateful and having the time of my life. Because I don't want to lose sight of all the times that I didn't have something like that.
Mm-hmm. And I also can tell that you're having fun, and Elsbeth is having fun.
Elsbeth is so curious and loves things.
She can be in a stressful or very serious situation, and she's enjoying herself.
She is. She cannot believe that she gets to do this, that she gets to go onto a crime scene, because she was a lawyer for so long defending the criminals. And now she's really trying to bring some justice to what these criminals have done. And I think that's really been a fun thing to add to the character. This sense that she really wants to make up for some of the stuff that she's done in the past that maybe she doesn't feel so good about. And then also, she's reinventing herself. She's moving to a new town. She's alone. She doesn't know anyone. She's in a totally different career. And how does she, at her age? And so how does she, navigate that? And I think she finds it to be exhilarating. And that's infectious.
Yeah, it is. It is. And it's also, I think it's refreshing to find a show like this, like a detective show.
Yes.
Something a little bit Columbo-like.
Yes.
With a woman her age, she's not young, or she's not, the typical male character that is very serious.
Right. Or even the female character who feels like they have to be sort of like the male characters.
Yes.
She is decidedly very female, the way she dresses, the way she is in the world, the bows, the colors, all of that stuff. She is that way because that's how she likes to be in the world. She wants to, be delighted to, dress that way. She wants to feel that joy and delight. And then it ends up that's quite a weapon that she can use. It's like her superpower.
Yeah, because everyone is confused.
They're confused. They don't think that she's serious. They don't think that she's somebody that they should worry about. And so she knows that. She's not putting it on an act. She is that. But she does know how she's being perceived in the world. And sometimes I think, she can be hurt by that too. People can say things to her that are hurtful, but she gets over it, moves forward.
Is it fun to play these little cracks in her armor, so to speak, that we can see sometimes when she speaks about her son, or when someone says something hurtful to her? Is it more fun to play that than just come inside and putting everything upside down?
Yes, not only is it fun, I think it's crucial. I think it's the key to all roles. You have to, especially if it's inherently comedic. There's a lot of comedy with this character, and I love that, and I love doing all of that. But if you don't ground it in some kind of emotional truth, it's not going to ring true for the audience. They're going to get tired of it. It's going to feel a little like, we have a word shtick. I don't know if you have that, but it's going to feel like shtick. It's going to feel like clown work. And so I find that whenever I'm doing comedy, I always try to find the pathos, the sadness underneath that. I think that's what makes things funny sometimes, is the truth. The same can be said for if I'm doing a really dark, drama. I always try to find the lighter moments, because that's life, right? Life is full of good, bad, and neutral all day long.
I'd also like to ask you about the relationship that Elsbeth has with agent. I forgot her name.
Blanc.
Yes. Because it's like they're starting off like the classic of I don't know if I can trust you, and now they're almost best friends.
Yes, and that's been so lovely because we didn't know where that was going. Cara Patterson, who plays Officer Blanc, is I had never worked with her before, but I had seen her in some things, and always admired her as an actor. But we're different generations. She's younger. But we both come from theater. We theater world, theater training. We both went to different schools, but we had similar training. That said, we didn't know each other, and so her character was new. So she's meeting my established character, and so we brought that same energy that you see between the characters. We had that as actors, and so that has been like one of the most fulfilling things about this whole first season is that friendship, but also working with CARRIE. She's such a lovely actor, and her energy is a lot different than mine, and somehow I think it works in such a lovely way. And finding them, discovering each other as they go along, and realizing how much they need each other has been a real, I think, gift to certainly me as an actor, but also to the show.
And is it difficult to balance the I don't know how to put it, the colorfulness of the character, because it's this type of character that when it works very well in very small doses, and sometimes this type of characters, when you have whole show around them, sometimes it's like they grow tiresome.
Right. Yes.
Is it difficult to balance that, to find the right the right
tone.
dose?
Yeah, yes, the right dose of Elsbeth. Yes. It is. It can be a challenge because I don't want people to grow tiresome. I don't want it to be tiresome. I don't want people to go, yeah, I'm tired of her. So at the same time, I trust the writing that, and I also always make sure that if there's something crazy, some bit of business that's happening, that it's always grounded in a truth, that there's a reason that that's happening, that I'm not just putting things on just to do that, because then it will feel disembodied, and I think that the audience will disengage from it. So I always try to keep her grounded in some emotional truth, so that it still feels like a real person having a real experience, albeit elevated. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally.
Okay.
Totally.
All right.
I'd actually like to ask you just to finish it off about the wardrobe.
Yes.
Because it's a delight.
Yes, it is. It is a delight.
I don't know if you have any input, any ideas about the wardrobe, because it has evolved a lot from the character that we saw on The Good Wife, for example.
Well, we have the brilliant costume designer Daniel Lawson, and he's been costuming this character since the beginning. He was the costume designer on The Good Wife, The Good Fight, and now Elsbeth. So he understands the character in some ways, I think, more than I do in some ways. I always say to him, you just handed me my character, thank you. Because she dresses for herself in the same way that she approaches everything, in an unusual, unorthodox, unconventional way. She likes fabric. She likes color. She doesn't mind mixing patterns. All of those things are, a way to make her feel good about herself. And so I feel like she does that in all of her choices. What can I do that's going to be a positive choice? And I think that's just a great and inspiring way to live. And Dan Lawson is the same way. He is such a positive, kind, curious, exciting person to be around. He gets so excited about a detail on a jacket or how something is tailored. He still, and he's been doing this for a long time, he still gets such joy and delight out of his work, and you can tell. And also, I think he's having the time of his life with Elsbeth, because he's used to these legal shows where he has to kind of dress everybody in a certain way, although he always brings character to everything that he does, all the people he dresses. But he gets to put this kind of circus in the middle of all of that, and he is very deliberate about how he does that. He wants Elsbeth to stand out in all situations. So he puts everyone around her in more muted New York colors, neutral tones, single patterns, because he wants her to stand out. And I think that's really important because she is a fish out of water, and all the criminals don't see her coming, even though they see her coming, if that makes sense.
It's very difficult to miss her.
Yes, it's difficult to miss her, but it's also easy to underestimate her. Mm-hmm.
So that was my last question.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Nice to meet you.